And ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Hello, I'm Thomas Carruthers.
I'm Jay Reef.
And today, it's gotten to a point now where I don't know how many we're in, and it doesn't actually matter. But we're doing our Twilight Zone Top 50. They're in no particular order. However, they will be in an order as we go now. We do rank now. And when I did my personal top 20, this was a top 5 episode. This was in the top 5 of all time. I don't think we've actually looked at what I ranked. So let's do that now, because I can't actually remember. Carruthers, Leggetter, and Whoever. So was this one that you'd seen before, Jay?
Nope.
There we are, Bloodspot. Okay, so initial reactions, Jay, to It's a Good Life.
This is my favorite one so far.
Pretty incredible episode.
I loved it. I loved the world of it.
Yeah.
I was really sucked in, like in a way I haven't been so far. Like I just enjoyed all the minor things, and it made me think, oh, what's going on in that side of the town? Oh, those other people. It's just...
Yeah, the two people we meet random, the two guys who walk past at the start, and he gives them the nod. And he was,
yeah.
Bill Colley's dog, the collie.
Oh.
These little things. Yeah, no, I think. Well, it's quite an odd one in that it's such a huge concept that it needs its own different style of intro. Yeah.
It was very different to hear, Rod going on about all the different members of the town.
Yeah, it's definitely the longest intro in the 150 episodes. It's I guess you could say, oddest. I'm going to introduce you. Today's episode is. 1 minute, let me get the exact wording, because they do it for this is what they take for when they do Twilight Zone the ride. This is what they've taken.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. Tonight's story in the Twilight Zone is somewhat unique and calls for a different kind of introduction. This is, as you may recognize, a map of the United States. And there's a little town there called Peaksville. And then there's just this little light that pops up, and you're going, okay. And then we learn that the rest of the world has vanished by all accounts.
Yeah.
Then we learn that some of the rules of Peaksville.
Yeah.
Then we meet Aunt Amy, and the monster doesn't like singing, so Aunt Amy doesn't speak often, and he hurts her brain. Okay, what is this monster? So now we know that there's a monster, and it has some sort of telekinetic powers. It can basically has all the powers in the world. Which is a terribly, terribly unnerving thing to hear.
Oh, yeah.
And then we learn about this is Mr. Freemont. It's his farmhouse where the monster resides. This is Mrs. Freemont. And then we have they have to think happy thoughts and say happy things, because once displeased, the monster can wish them into a cornfield or change them into a grotesque walking horror. That is one hell of a thing to hear as an introduction to an episode. Did you?
I managed to forget about the grotesque walking horror by the end of the episode, and then
we get a grotesque walking horror, and then in quite a little playful way to do it, considering how dark the episode is. Oh, and I forgot something. Oh yes, I did forget something, didn't I? I forgot to introduce you to the monster. And then we cut to little Bill Mooney as Anthony Freemont just on a gate. And then the camera doesn't move. The gate swings close, and you go, oh, wait.
Was this who you were talking about when you messaged me saying I can't wait for you to meet this little shit?
Yeah. 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 And
Yeah.
so yeah, Anthony Freemont is for me one of the greatest villain creations of all time.
Oh my god.
Because like, is he a villain? Well, no, he is definitely. And I think, see, this is the thing. He's definitely a villain. And it's that thing of, because in the original short story, so let's talk about the original short story. So it's by Jerome Bixby. And this is one where basically the short story is so stellar that Serling just does that.
Yeah.
Takes whole stretches of dialogue. The biggest change is that in the story, it's a 3-year-old.
Okay.
Which would be harder to depict, obviously on stage, and I think on screen. And I think it works here that he's 6 or 7 because obviously he's a child and doesn't know what he's doing, but time and time again he does know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Almost every time. And I think it's Bill Mooney's performance, and I think it's the way in which the story escalates.
Yeah.
It's tough for us to just go, he's a kid, he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Because it's been years, multiple years now. You come to learn things and you come to know what you are and what you are doing.
Yeah. And like the way he talks about having sent people to the cornfield.
Yeah. I didn't like them.
Yeah.
I didn't like them anymore.
So I sent them away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No kids came to play with me today. And then the dad, the wonderful John Larch, playing Mr. Fremont. Well, Bill, that's because, Anthony, that's because you sent them all away to the cornfield, remember? And parents didn't like that much, and everybody talks in this wonderful, it's a sensational episode. I've got the ranking here. Where did I put it? I put it number 4. So my top 5 was Walking Distance, Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up, The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street, It's a Good Life, and then To Serve Man, Nothing in the Dark, Stop at Willoughby, Silence, Eye of the Beholder, Midnight Sun, After Hours, The Howling Man, The Lonely, Nightmare at 20,000 Feet, On Thursday We Leave for Home, Time Enough at Last, Long Distance Call, Living Doll, and Night Call. That was my top 20. And as that list goes down, I mean, you can just change whichever one you want. I mean, the immense horror of how they all speak.
Oh, I know.
And
it's a real good thing.
It's a real good thing. And everybody talks in this like, they're all terrified.
Yeah.
For this entire episode. And it's maintained, and it's this, and the tiny moments where people snap, or the tiny moments where people have to catch themselves. Like at the end, Mr. Fremont, who throughout the entire thing it's all behind the eyes. Everybody is behind the eyes. This is some of the finest acting the Twilight Zone's ever seen. Yeah. And everybody is talking like this. And John Larch in particular is the dad. Mm-hmm. He always has this sort of dad, like fatherly, oh, come on, son, that was great. Yeah. Oh, we had a great time. And then when he finally snaps, what are you doing? It's going to ruin all the crops. It's a good thing that it's going to ruin all the crops. And that's the end. And the twist here, of course, is there is no twist. It's for me, it's one of my favorite Serling closers. No comment here. No comment at all, really. If you find yourself in Peaksville, think happy thoughts. Yeah. There's no ending. Dark. Yeah. Very, very, very dark. Yeah.
Yeah. And on the fear shown by the actors, I liked the attention to detail of them all like sweating quite a lot throughout the entire episode.
Because it's the heat that we address early on with Aunt Amy. it's such a terribly hot day. I love that Aunt Amy moment when she's with the wonderful Cloris Leachman, rest in peace. She passed this last year, an icon and a big one I love. Last picture show, Young Frankenstein, Frau Glucker, some milk, Ovaltine. Love Cloris Leachman, who wouldn't? But when she's talking with Aunt Amy on the porch, oh, it's a terribly hot day. And then it's going, oh, no, it's a wonderful day. And Aunt Amy, who's obviously been affected by Anthony, just goes, he's not even here. You don't have to say it. He's not even around. And it's that the fear has gone so ingrained that they have to speak like this all the time, because what if he can read people's minds?
Yeah.
As well.
It's a paranoia.
Yeah. What if it's that as well?
Yeah. And on that moment when he came out the barn, I was like, oh god.
Yeah, and the organ strikes. Ding. Yeah. Oh no. And again, it's so much that we don't see, like in so many of these episodes. We don't see what's in the barn. I turn them all into monsters. Yeah. Funny looking things too. That's probably my favorite John Larch moment. Yeah. Funny looking things too, weren't they? And he's turning and I think it's a choice. It's not a budget thing this time around, because I always thought the gopher, we just see the tail. I made a 3-headed gopher. I always thought that was a budget choice, but it wasn't. They made a 3-headed gopher. Bill Mooney's talked about it. He said, I'll remember it for the rest of my life. And they'd made it, and they've chosen not to use it. And whether that's a studio note, whether they had to cut it because it looked too disgusting, apparently it was horrifying. It's a choice. Yeah. And as you say, you forget about the monstrous things that he can do, so that by the time that we get that single flash and shadow,
so disturbing.
So in the short story, it says he turned him into something unimaginable, and then the father begged him to take it to the cornfield. Completely works for a short story, of course it does. But here, in depicting something, you could have gone for a big, grotesque, monstrous shadow.
Mm-hmm.
So much better with this simple choice. It's just a jack in a box. And yeah, maybe it looks a bit corny. I just don't see it. It's yeah.
And the flash of the guy's face was down.
I made him into a jack in a box, but it still had his bad face on it.
Yeah, I was messed up.
And
You're a bad man.
That's about, I mean, so Serling, before he passed in 75, he died in 75, he wrote it in 74, was close to finishing, or reports vary. He was writing a feature-length version of this episode. Now I wonder where you take it, where it grows, because this is such a perfect 25 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be a cash grab. Serling clearly thought, okay, where can we take this?
Was The Exorcist out already?
Exorcist is 74,
then no.
75. Yeah, no, not before this, not before 61. No.
So it was quite a it was quite a new concept, having like an evil kid.
Yeah, you've got the Village of the Damned, but they're these blank group. But yeah, the Reagan is possessed, but and Anthony knows more what he's doing. But yeah, that thing of those evil children. Yeah. Well, it's that thing, and it's brought up in The Exorcist, and it's the conclusion of this. Can you kill a kid?
Yeah, and The Omen.
Yeah, and the Omen, of course. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is for you, Damien. But yeah, that thing of the parents are there. Can I kill my own child? Aunt Amy goes for the fire rod.
That was so frustrating. She just stood there, grabs it, and let's go after like a second.
Yeah. This is the thing. It's the same reason that they talk when they're alone.
Yeah.
They have no idea. if they don't kill him in one blow, maybe in his dying moments he goes, bye, all of you. You know, he's bleeding from the head or whatever, and in those moments he just blows everything up.
Yeah.
But then you get into the thing of, well, make it a suicide mission. Surely that is better than this life. But that's the inherent issue during a lot of the episodes. Let's talk about some facts. So this is directed by James Sheldon, who directed multiple Twilight Zones episodes, including the other Bill Mumy classic, Long Distance Call, which was one of the videotaped episodes from season 2. He also directed one of the other videotaped episodes from series 2, The Whole Truth, which is the car one, which is quite funny. We're not going to do it. The other ones that he did that we're going to look at, Penny for Your Thoughts. It's a fun one from the second season. We're going to look at that. And that's it. We're doing 3 James Sheldon episodes, Long Distance Call, Penny for Your Thoughts, and It's a Good Life, 2 of which are Bill Mumy classics. So Bill Mumy stars in 3 Twilight Zone episodes. Next week for us, we're going to look at In Praise of Pip, a lovely little touching episode where Bill Mumy isn't a horrid monster. And Long Distance Call, which is one of the more unsettling and haunting episodes. Bill Mumy's excellent in that as well. So they basically for the new Twilight Zone or whatever it was, when they did it again in 2003, they made another episode called It's Still a Good Life, where Bill Mumy and Cloris Leachman came back, and Bill Mumy's real life daughter Liliana Mumy was in it, and she has more powers apparently. Which I don't know why I said apparently. I've seen this. It's fun. It's fun. It's not just a cash grab. Well, it's clearly not, because the show isn't making any money anyway. But it's not creatively bankrupt, and there are fun elements to it. And Cloris Leachman is incredible, and as normal. Bill Mumy is very good as well. It's fine. However, for me, this is it. We end with the ambiguity. This is their lives forever. I love thinking about, will Anthony ever come to some sort of adult realization? I very much doubt he could, because weird example, but when John Mulaney talks about Mick Jagger, and he's like, for all your life, you've had thousands and thousands of people screaming your name. Yeah, that's going to change the way you think about life and the way that you talk to people. How, what is Anthony? How can Anthony ever have some sort of an agnoresis, any sort of turning point in his life, when this is all he's ever known?
Yeah, I don't know if he could. And when you mentioned the original story with him being younger, I'd really like to see what happened when he was like a baby growing up. Yeah.
Well, there's a lovely bit in the short story where basically he loves Aunt Amy. He really loves Aunt Amy. And he's like, oh, Aunt Amy. And yet he's the one that has rendered her basically lobotomized.
Yeah.
It's that thing of he just has no idea. It's lovely, lovely stuff. In 1974, Serling finished a screenplay. Feature film version of this episode. Serling died in 1975, and the film was never produced. I'd love to read that script. Time magazine named this the 3rd best episode of the Twilight Zone, after Time Enough at Last and The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. Again, they're all in my top 5. We'll see where they are after our total ranking. This is one of the episodes that was remade for the Joe Dante Joe Dante for the Twilight Zone movie. Again, I love Joe Dante. I just think the tone and handling of tone, it's a completely different way to tell it. It's a lot more cartoonish, a lot more like Gremlins. But for me, that just doesn't work. It needs to be the stark black and white. It needs to be the horrors. It needs to be not seeing things. It needs to be the gopher's tail. It needs to be ding dong with the shaking Jack-in-a-Box head. I don't need a huge monster animatronic. The huge monster animatronic is great and is really, really cool, but it's just not the one.
Yeah, I think the subtlety worked.
Indeed. Let's just go through the episode. Let's look at my notes. So the intro is bizarre, as we've talked about in the canon of Twilight Zone, and sets you up for a different tale, which in so many ways this really is. And the delivery man scene. The delivery man, played by the wonderful. He's not credited. Played by the wonderful blank, and the delivery man, who that's sort of where we start learning how things still work. Okay, so they're running out of food. They found some tomato soup. We know that he knows that. I know that Anthony likes tomato soup, so I brought some extra cans. And then that wonderful. Could you please tell him that I was the one that brought it? And you go, oh, everybody is just terrified and looking for anything.
Yeah.
So my question is, because obviously you've got the two guys walking by at the start and then nudges him and they start smiling. What's happening there? What is happening beyond the town? Sorry, well, we know what's happening beyond the town. There is nothing. Bill Mooney doesn't think that he destroyed the world. He thinks he put it in a pocket universe. Okay. Good for you. So there are other farms, clearly. We hear about Bill Soames and his Carly. We hear about everybody else. We hear about there are other kids. Why didn't the other kids come and play today? And we hear about all of these things. So what is happening on these other farms? Because the delivery man comes and the two men walk by. Is it just a matter of we have to be quiet? We have to be when we're in this place, or are they all as paranoid as well and also do the thing of talking like that?
I think probably a middle ground between the both. I think most of the time they're probably like his mum, and really paranoid, especially if like so many of them have already gone to the cornfield.
Yeah. Well,
and like the world. Yeah, I think it'd be a bit hard not to be in a constant like paranoia about Anthony.
On the Bill Mooney commentary, he calls him a mutant. Do you see Anthony Freemont as a mutant?
No.
I guess he is. X-Men character Anthony Freemont. That'd be fun.
Oh
wow. He keeps doing the lines on the commentary track, and he keeps like saying, "And if I don't like you, I'll send you to the cornfield." And he keeps it's like, this is clearly a big thing for Bill Mooney, and he's quite funny about it, and he's quite knowing. It's quite delightful. And we talked about the real gopher, as I just said. And Tammy, we talked about would he allow Dan Hollis's secret surprise birthday party? I don't know if he would. I think that he'd go, what about my party? It should be my birthday party. I mean, obviously, then you don't have an episode. But like, I feel like it's like a bargain. He's going to do the television for us. We're going to watch his television. And then we're going to have, because it's always those two things. They never just say we're having the party. It's always, it's television night and he's going to do the television. And then we're going to have Dan Hollis' surprise party.
Yeah.
But don't sing along. Maybe we just play the bit before Perry Como sings. And, no. Let's listen to Moonglow. What should I play, Anthony? Just play anything. Oh, Moonglow. I'll play Moonglow. That's a nice old song. Oh, what a lovely old song.
Really, that's a great song.
Yeah, that's a great song. I love as I've said, I love the John Larch scene, and a lovely subtle thing as well is, I think that like that we hear about the first time. We heard about the first time that Anthony heard somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So the hearing people's isn't paranoia; it's clearly justified in something.
Yeah.
And I've always thought, maybe subtly, maybe that was the dad. And he ratted this, and he said it was this other guy. But that's like, who knows?
Yeah.
But there's a couple of moments like when Cloris Leachman, he made this dog, and I thought maybe if Anthony got close, he'd maybe. And then she cannot even say it. I wish that he made something that killed him.
Yeah. And
this is the point they're at.
Yeah, she's like, and it almost bit him. And yeah. And then the delivery man is just like, gotta go.
Yeah, please. I didn't say those things. I didn't say those things.
Yeah, I'm not involved with this.
Yeah. Incredible stuff. Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, when we first heard about that thing. Yeah. Who was that man? I think that was Bill Riley. And he goes, yeah. That's why I made him go on fire. Oh, again, it's those little things, the little things that we hear, and are all the more upsetting and terrifying. And oh God, I never yawn in real life, and then the minute I go on a podcast, I yawn. Terrible. Did somebody look familiar, Jay, in this episode?
Wait, why?
So Ethel Hollis, Dan's wife, is Mulholland Drive's own Irene.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Irene.
Oh my God. And she was on a Razorhead.
Yeah,
who was she?
It says Mrs. X.
Yeah. Oh crap, she is. Oh, that's great.
Thank you, Irene.
And then at the end.
Oh, just good stuff. Let's talk about the party. Let's talk about Dan Hollis. So the wonderful Don Kiefer does just great work here, and just I cannot lie anymore, and I cannot pretend anymore. I'm going to drink, and for a long time we think, oh, he's just drunk and he's just snapped.
Yeah,
and then there's that incredible shift.
Yeah.
And everyone's going, no, Dan. And he goes, no, I'm going to sacrifice. And we now realize he's going to sacrifice himself. You think bad thoughts about me, and maybe some man in this room, some man with guts, somebody who's so sick to death of living in a place like this is willing to take a chance, will sneak up behind you and lay something heavy across your skull and end this once and for all. You're a bad man. You're a very bad man. Yeah. You think that. Go ahead, Anthony. I'm a very bad man. Keep thinking that. And then obviously nobody moves. And then there's that glorious break in his voice. Won't somebody grab a lamp or a bottle or something?
Yeah.
No.
So frustrating.
Jack in a box for you. But that's the thing, isn't it? What would you do? Because I recently watched it with previous guests, David and Reed.
Oh, did you?
Yes. We brought in the Halloween. We stayed up and watched Twilight Zone. And they were having that visceral reaction. Oh, somebody just do it. And then afterwards they were like, oh, why wouldn't they? And I said, you have no idea whether or not he will just set you on fire the minute you get close.
That's true.
Of course, they're not going to grab it.
Yeah, be terrifying. I think Dan was. It is Dan, isn't it? Yeah, was just kind of trusting that someone else was at this same point as him.
Yeah,
where he basically loses it. But
well, this is the thing, isn't it? I think he's trusting in that. I think it's beyond trust. He knows that.
Yeah,
he knows everybody's at this point. They're just not at the point of suicide.
Yeah,
or maybe they are. Mate, it's the theory. It's like we've seen. I mean, who's going to ever say a bad thing to him after they see the Jack in a Box?
Nope.
Yeah, it's like what please send, and also the cornfield, sent into the cornfield.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing? Is that heaven? I presume not. You know, I can only guess it's just a void. Again, we have no idea what the cornfield is. All we know is that they got sent into the cornfield. Is this with monsters? And
that's what makes it better as well, because like not knowing where they're going is, well, adds a layer to the fear.
A lovely little touch. Usually at the end of the episodes, there's the freeze frame of something from the episode. In this, we get a freeze frame of the cornfield, of a cornfield, and again, we don't see anything in it. It's just corn. A lovely little touch. And then the ultimate ending of the show, of the episode, is the snow falling, and just he can do anything. He can literally just make it snow. And we have Aunt Amy at the beginning. Oh, I hope this heat cools down later. I hope this heat cools down tonight. No, he wants snow now. I want snow now. He's just sat there on the piano with his little fucking fist and his chin.
Oh my God.
I would kill Anthony. I don't care. You can make me a Jack in a Box, Anthony. I'm coming for you. But of course I wouldn't, because fear, as we learned in Dune, fear is the mind killer. No, fear is the greatest thing of all. It's the greatest weapon of all. Mark Scott Zicree of the Twilight Zone Companion talked about in his audio commentary, was like how the show works beautifully as a metaphor for a totalitarian society, with bugs, and I can't say anything even in the privacy of my own home because maybe there's a bug, and then people just disappear, and are they dead? I will never know. Unmarked graves. Very haunting. Very.
Please be listening.
Just no, Aunt Amy, who knows? Just be quiet, Aunt Amy. You never know. Incredible episode. Jay, do you have anything else to say about it? It's a Good Life.
It was just fantastic.
I think this is one of the ones that I would be interested in a feature film, but also I'd be interested in a play, because the last 15 minutes could be a good, great half an hour, like end of the first act or whole second act even. Very unnerving.
I think a lot of Twilight Zone episodes would make great plays.
Well, yes, there was the play, which I went to go see, and we talked about this before, how, for me, the balancing of tone was its biggest downfall. But halfway through, they just did The Shelter. They just did the episode The Shelter, like almost verbatim from the script, as just like a 20-minute bit in the middle, because it just plays like a dream. And also, Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up? That's just a play. Just stage that right now, if you have the rights. No, I agree with you. Many of the episodes work wonderfully for stage. Which brings us to just one more yawn. Tom's yawn corner. Which brings us to ranking. I don't want to be anticlimactic, but this is the best episode we've looked at so far. Now I'm going to do something now. Currently we all agree, and I will always agree. I will always say that Walking Distance is the greatest episode of all time. We know that. We know how I feel about that. Can you see the spreadsheet?
No.
What are you looking at?
I see me and you, and I see your desktop.
Oh, you're looking at my desktop?
Yeah.
Oh my God. What about all that graphic German porn? I just have. Right, okay, I'm going to stop sharing. Let's try again.
What's in the Stephen Sondheim folder, Tom?
Take a wild guess what's in the Stephen Sondheim. In the Stephen Sondheim folder, you will find Stephen Sondheim. Okay, and let's try that again. Does that work?
Yes, there we go.
Okay, terrific. Now, Obviously, it's there. Obviously, it's number 2 currently. Now, do you want to? How do you feel currently? Did that top walking distance for you?
I don't think so.
Oh, good then. Okay, good.
Yeah, I think walking distance like has all the great stuff of this, but it also has like an emotional layer.
It has it's the greatest 25 minutes of media ever made. Man can walk a lot of pavements. Okay, well that's good then. I thought, oh no, are we gonna have to do a big talk? Well, that's wonderful. It's a good life. It's now our 2nd episode, and we'll probably. I'm trying to think what's upcoming that could try and topple it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We've got lots of episodes to come. Where is everybody? Nightmare at 20,000 feet. The Masks. Time Enough at Last. It's a Good Life. Walking Distance. Pretty solid top 6, I have to say. I wonder where everything will end up once we do all 50. How much that will correlate with my personal top 20. Well, who knows? We have so much to discuss. So many good things to discuss. Lots and lots of good things. Next week, we're staying with Bill Mooney. 1 minute. Next week, yes, we're doing another Bill Mooney. We're doing In Praise of Pip, which you watched last night, apparently, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Lovely little episode, isn't it? Oh, good. I like a debate. I like a debate. It's probably my least favorite of the 50.
Yeah. Okay.
It's fine. Yeah. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not a big In Praise of Pip guy. Because I wanted to balance.
It's the best episode, Anthony.
It's the best episode. Oh no, I love In Praise. You are really, really good in Praise of Pip, Bill Mooney. I'd like to think that Bill Mooney, and this commentary only solidified it. I like to think that Bill Mooney, now everybody's still afraid of Bill Mooney, and they go around. Yeah. They go around going.
Just little, in case I forget to mention it when we do record that, but watching this and then In Praise of Pip instantly after, and seeing the picture of Anthony on desk was like, what the fuck? No.
Oh no. Oh, this is what. Yeah, no, I did. There are multiple reasons why I wanted to talk about In Praise of Pip. It's one of Serling's favorite episodes, and it's the favorite of his daughter Anne, and Jack Klugman's in it, and I love Jack Klugman. And I think we're looking at, I can't remember what other Jack Klugmans we're looking at. I'll find out for next week. Anyway, there's so many great, wonderful Twilight Zones. Oh, I love the Twilight Zone. Oh. I don't know. The endings of these episodes get more and more manic.
Yeah.